Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending today's workshop. This session is a part of 36-hour virtual hackathon that CrossKnot is conducting. We have prizes for the top 4 winners, some track prizes, and also rewards for all the participants. So it's a great honor to have Kartikey Rawat today with us. He is a GitHub campus expert, student community intern at Postman. He is the organizer of Azure Developer Community and the founder at OpInCo Community. Kartikey will be giving us the insights for getting started with APIs, including what are APIs, servers, and clients, as well as how to make an HTTP request to an API. Use query parameters to define queries, submit data to APIs, and understand API answers. You can ask your doubts and questions in the chat box, and Kartikey will respond to them by the end of the session. Or you can unmute yourself and then ask them at the end of the session. Over to you, Kartikey.
Cool. Thanks, Avi. That's a great introduction, and I really loved it. So thanks for that. And I didn't take much time, and let's get started. So, hey, folks, thanks for joining on today's talk. And today we will talk about APIs as usual, and it's very basic session, so you don't have to understand. Like you should not be a very technical person. You don't have to be. So it's very basic. So please chill with that. Cool. Talking about a little bit about myself, as even like Shavi like introduced me very well. But like about me, I'm Kartikey Rawat. I'm a student community intern, or you can say postman or at postman. And if you want to follow me, if you have any query regarding this session, after this session, you can ping me. Like my journal social media handle is Carry Gold Dude. You can follow me everywhere. Like if you want to reach out to me or have any doubt, you can do that. Cool. So today's agenda. So today we will talk about intros to API and Postman actually. What is request and response? Trying things out somewhat about you can say somewhat about hands-on. I will give you some follow-up resources, and at the end we will have a Q&A, and you can ask anything on that end. Cool. So API are digital restaurant. So going deep dive into APIs, I will just give you a small example how you can understand API. Suppose you go to a restaurant and you just call a waiter and you just just say like your favorite dish. For me, my favorite dish will be you can say pav bhaji. Like I really love pav bhaji, so I just go to the waiter and just ask to them like pav bhaji is available or not. So again, what waiter will do? Waiter will go to the chef of this particular restaurant, ask like is the material of pav bhaji, or you can say the some substance of the pav bhaji is present or not. So if if it's present or not, so on that basis, then maybe chef goes to the waiter again and say, yeah, it's present, so I can give to the like I can make the pav bhaji for sale. And after that, after the you can say waiter, then waiter it reaches today again to the me like yeah, pav bhaji is there. You just wait for 15 minutes. I will get you on that end. So here waiter is an API. So for more information, if you say actually how the whole API works, I have something to say. Suppose I go to Google search engine, right? So Google search engine, or you can say www.google.com is an API, and actually the whole thing's happening on the server, like the backend script that is going on. Or you can say, if I just search about myself, Kartikey Rawat, so it will give some of the you can say results that is available on the you can say on their server. So that's basically it about it. So what I'm doing, I am a client. I just gave a maybe a Google search about myself, or maybe you can say oh this hackathon and such it about it. The first results you can say on the it can be website, it can be social media handles. So actually you didn't have to create you can say the basically the concept of API is built out here is like that. You did not have to create everything from scratch. So if a small thing is already created, or the part that you are using is already created, you can take that resources and use it in your maybe program or project. That's the basic concept behind it. Cool. So yeah, so may a bit go more the you can definition kind of thing. So what's an API? Just I'm reading out for you in order to understand like actually what is the technical meaning of it. Yeah. So application programming interface, that is a full form of API, allow services to communicate with each other. Software has become more complex and collaborative over this year, right? So what can developer do? They didn't do can like what I already tell you. Developer no longer need to create each service from scratch. The service is already there. You have to use it as a using API and call it, nothing else. So APIs allow developers to access the data from a service like you can say Google, Twitter, YouTube, anything, and without any knowledge of how the code base has implemented. That's what the concept of API built out here. Again, just giving you another example over there. Suppose I am a like I'm a very fan of the big you can fan of content creation and in terms of YouTube. So suppose my favorite podcast is Ranveer Alawadi. So I will go to the YouTube search engine and just search it about Ranveer Alawadi. You can see beer biceps and the basic the results. So at the end of the day, I am not a developer for now, but I want to know those results. So for the third point that what I'm explaining actually, without any knowledge of what a backend or what are the code bases implemented, I can use that API basically. Okay, great. So let's go to the you can the final example. Maybe it's a bit technical, but like you know all this stuff, I guess. So in Instagram, what I will do if I want to post a story, so what I have to what I can do. So I just from go to the Instagram app and go to the camera option and click a photo, right? And after clicking the photo, it directly go to the you can say to you can say you can edit that story or that's on the stuff. So go to back to the you can say main Instagram page, and after that what had happened, then you after saving everything you can click on the story. You can say post that story. What it will do, it will go to the database of the Instagram, right? And after that after that it's viewable to all that you are maybe it can be close friends or maybe open public to everyone. So that's a concept of APIs is going on. What I am doing here, Instagram is a platform where I'm clicking a photo, or it can be your you can say poverty like you go to your poverty came to on your table, you're just clicking a photo, post it on your story to see the other people. So actually the database or you can say the whole workflow of Instagram is an API over there. So you are actually using API day to day basis. That's a you can basic technical example you can say, right? Cool. So there is an API for everything. Like everything has an API right now. For you can say very famous one are you can say the Cat API, Open Weather Map, Genius, Discord, YouTube to MP3. If like many people know how I think so YouTube to MP3, Discord is pretty much famous. Spotify developer account you can say developer account is very famous. Twitter, Facebook, Google, and for more about it, Twitter, you know, those who pretty much in machine learning, they pretty much know about like Twitter has a you can sentimental analysis projects many using Twitter API, so you can use that. Cool. Now, how API turns the software into Lego bricks. So what actually I'm saying about it is like that you can, it's again as I already tell you, API is like a service. So it's a kind of a microservice you can say. I created already service and using it. So I can change it and like make it like a kind of a Lego. I can use it everywhere. Right? So it's not like that. If I created a structure, only that form only API works. No, if you created a service or if you created a multiple service, it's my I can connect anything with other like I can create different number of patterns over there. So that's a basically reflection of Lego brick if you already play in your maybe childhood. So that pretty much no. So now, what is actually a Postman? So, and how it's using it. So, basically, a definition of basically a Postman platform is a Postman is a collaborative API development platform that simplifies creating, using, and testing APIs with an EUI, right? So, Postman, you can say is democratizing. You can say it's a GitHub for APIs, right? It's a GitHub for API. You can collaborate with many folks if you're going over there and you can work on it. You can basically it's a collaborative platform where you can collaborate with your friends on an API. So again, I'm saying it's a GitHub for API. So it's the democratizing API in terms of open source, and you can say. So yeah, cool. And like if you don't know, 98% of the you can top companies are using Postman. Literally, if you go to any internship or like that, or if you're working for a company, you will see 98% of session you can say testing is done on Postman. So it's totally UI UX basis. So you didn't have to create a like a curl command to do that, right? So as what I'm saying, for working APIs then versus now. Previously, if you want to test an API, you have to use a curl command on a Linux terminal or maybe a Linux VM, you can say. But right now, what we are doing actually here in Postman, all things are UI UX basis. So all things are UI. So you didn't have to do a curl command and work on a terminal kind of stuff. No, you can easily do it. It's like a drag and drop kind of option. It's very seamless. So that's the power of Postman over there, right? Now let's talk about requests and responses. Yeah. So talking about request and responses. So basic thing, what is a request and a response? In a layman term, request means I am requesting something to someone, and response like after requesting that thing, I got a response. It can be false, it can be true, it can be positive, it can be negative. Suppose I'm taking an example of previous one. I ordered pav bhaji, so it's a request for from my end to the waiter. So it's a request, and after that, after getting the information from the chef that it's available or not, that's a response. So it can be negative also. It can also possible like maybe for pav bhaji or any dish that you are like ordering or is requesting, it's not there. So it can be false also. So actually, request and response have a basic genre. Like if you go for the call with the name, you can say, and the basic concept is behind you for the client server. You can say model what you are doing. A client that is me are requesting power. You can say any your favorite dish here, and on that this API or server takes that part and responds to that same thing that what I'm requesting. Is it available or not available? Right. Next one, making request. So basically, there are three ingredients to make a request. First one is method that includes get postman that we'll talk about. Second one is address or endpoint, or you can say basically a URL. And last one but not the least, that is path. So let's talk about method and the endpoint. So if you go to the like search button, if you say www.google.com/search, so what actually it means. So first of all, just for the record, let me show you with the pointer over there. Yeah. So if you see this the method actually whatever method it is. So if you go to it, get basically retrieve the information. You can say get the data. Yep. Post means you are sending information or adding any information to that particular API. Put or fetch is just like you can update your information, right? And delete is just to delete that particular information. So we will do some CRUD application during this session and more on it. Yep. And last, now let's go to the next one. That is the main structure of whole endpoint, or you can see URL. As you're seeing, HTTPS is a protocol, www.google.com is a host, and last one but not the least is search, right? So what actually it means? So HTTPS, as you know, it's a protocol. It's a like hypertext transfer protocol. The schema, basically, it's a schema of the request. I'm not going to have what is the schema, but I'm just letting you know it's a protocol. Second one is the host, where all things are hosted, right? And last but not the least, as you say, path, which is a destination where requests can be heard and executed. So let me expand this on thing more on thing. Suppose you just search about www.linkedin.com/on notification. So notification is a path where your destination is, and actually it's a basically an endpoint over there. So you have different things. It's first one maybe networking over tab, second one is notification, third one is jobs. There are different type of things in if you go to the LinkedIn, basically LinkedIn app or LinkedIn web app basically. So that's a basically thing. So the host is www.linkedin.com, and the part that you have to go, it can be notification, it can be normal feeds, it can be jobs, it can be networking. So there's a different kind of tabs that you're seeing on the LinkedIn. So that's a basically the whole address of the whole server, right? Now specifying details. So building your own request. So there are three type of things that is more focused. First one is parameter that is basically on the queries. Second one is authorization, and third one is headers and body. Like what are the data type that is present on the headers and bodies, right? Cool. So request body. So it can be optional, but like often supplied with post and put request. So it's totally on to you. And what kind of data types it's also include. Yep. So it's include form data, JSON, text, HTML, XML, files, GraphQL, and many more. Like there are different type of data types that you can create a API of, or you can test some API on that part. Yep. Cool. So how a JSON or any, I'm just giving you an example, like because JSON is used like a lot of time in industries. So what actually JSON or structure of JSON is like the name and what the value actually you're providing, email the of value, birth year and its value. So basic thing is you have to give a string value and apart, and the string value has some other value like basically name. My name is Kartikey Rawat. My email will be kartikey.rawat@postman.com, and my birth year 2000. So that's basically a simple structure JSON that I'm providing you so that you get how a JSON is structured, and more or less every kind of data type. So you can say here is present are structured in same or another way. Cool. Now, receiving response, that's really important. So if you see, if you go to the status code and when we go hands-on, the status code, if you are like, if you, it's all things are good, okay, so 20 or 200, it's okay, 201, it's one created. And I think the 404 is very famous, that is not found. Second one is header, how the whole heading things is, how the whole API structure on the header. And last but not the least, that is accessing body data, right? Cool. Now let's go to this URL. Let's click on this one and let me share this tab. Cool. So first of all, let's go. If anyone wants to chip in or with me, so you can take a screenshot of this, or you can go to this URL. Otherwise, let's go to some hands-on stuff, right? Cool. So if you see here, let me zoom in for the folks. I think so. It's pretty much very slow. So cool. I guess now it's visible. So what I'm doing here, so I have to create a fork. So go to basics of API, go down and create a fork here, right? So for now, it can be like for me, it can be CrossKnot API session, suppose, right? Cool. And over here, my workspace can be my workspace. So I will just give me a moment. Let me cool. So go to my workspace and poke a collection over here. So it's till then it's poking. Cool. I think so. It's open now. And just give me a moment. Let me share the link with you on the section. I think so. I'm just dropping the private so that team will drop down that. So yep. So yep. Cool. Yeah. So now let's jump to the main thing. That is now I basically like poke this one. So let me first of all let me brief you about the whole platform, like how the whole platform is going on. So let me zoom in here so that it will better for you. Cool. So if you see here, this is the whole dashboard tab. You can say on the left hand side, if you are seeing, basically it will just embraces the what are the requests or what are the basically things that you are adding. You can this is my old one. Here you can also go to if you want to create an API, you just write a create an API, or if you want, you can also import things from here. So all the new features coming. If you want to create your own environment, you can using that. You can create mock servers. You can it's offer if you want like if you want to monitor your basically if you want monitoring from for your API, you can do that. Again, you can go to the flows. How do you can create a different flows or drop API using that. So again, that's also a great feature of the Postman. So you didn't go there, so I'm not creating this one. So yep, cool. And if you go to here, this is the comment section. If I'm dropping like, hello, my name is Kartikey, cool, Kartikey, and just add a comment over here. If you want, let me share this. You can say you can drop the comments out there if you want. Again, that's pretty much easy on the public one. Even though if you without poking, if you want to comment out there, you can also do there. So yeah, that's a basically focus, and you can see the whole. You can say whole documentation stuff that you're seeing right now. Cool. So let's go to the collection one and cool. So let's go to the basics of API one and let me add another thing. So like suppose if I'm writing www.google.com and let's send this. Cool. So if you see, let me pick this up. If you see, I got my like different. This is the basically. If you see, this is the basically an HTML like whole HTML look. You can see that if you want to see, you can see visual thing. You can just go to the preview one, and you can check it out. This is the basic structure without any CSS. You can say, and if you want, you can visualize, but you don't have to visualize right now. But so in a raw manner, you can say it's this in this form. So suppose if I want to search, suppose Postman, let me go like if I write, and if you want to see, if you can check, there's a status code that is mean it's successful. HTTP request is totally sent. You are done with that job, and let me make it like here. And suppose if I'm writing search, search, and let's send this and preview this. So nothing will happen, but But suppose if I'm ID creating a key, suppose ID, and giving a value like Postman, suppose, and let's send this. Cool. So, so the main thing that what I'm providing is, if you want, you can create an para key basically on this one, and you can add basically different things over that thing, right? So that's a basic thing that what I want to show. But the main point that what I'm showing you here, like is like that. Let's just go to the, if you click here and just write on the, you can say, view documentation. It can open in a new tab, and just copy this one, because we will work on this one basically, and just go to here and paste this and send this one. Cool. So let me see this. I'm sending this one. So here right now it's showing hello world, hello world. That's the basic thing that we are getting. Suppose if I want to, so there are different type of, there are actually different type of basically APIs that is created by Postman. So if you see on the, like if you see on the documentation, you will see jokes API, quote APIs, and books API. So right now I'm going for the books, for the easy phase. So let me write book here and send this one. So for, if you're seeing right now in a pretty much better way, so the idea is to, the author name is Sudhamurthy, the book name is this. So if I send again and again, so I get a new one. Like I get a new one, I get a new ID, I get a new maybe book, as you see, right? As you see, cool. Now the now let's do some, like if I want to add something over there. So how I can do that? So we will use post again. So what I have to do, just go here, add a request, and name it maybe add books. So for adding a book, what I have to do, just use post here and just pay the same thing, right? With the jokes one, with the book one, right? So ID is not sent, why it's actually written, because I am posting this, so I have to basically add this thing. So what I can do, go to the documentation again, right? And this is the basic thing that we are going. So if you just copy this one, because I have to add the new book, right? So what I can do, just go to the body one. As you saying, it's a bad request because I didn't add the body over there, because I have to add something, right? So what I have to do, go to the none, right? And go to raw and go to JSON, right? And just paste that thing. So for ID one, if I want to add, suppose if I make it 123, suppose, let's make my name is like Kartikey, or you can say my popular name is Carrie Gulru, right? And suppose I make this one, and so for now to be a basic clear cut, right now what we are doing, to just get you understand of this thing. But right now, if I want to go for like joke, suppose let's I send this one. So I get a visualized thing of thing, because if you see on the documentation, the whole documentation is focused on more on, you can say, the books one, you can say the joke one, but it's on to you. You can play around with anything, but right now we are more focusing on the joke one. Cool. And let me go to the post one, right? And let me send this one, right? So if you see again, it's a bad request. So why it's happening? So let me see. If you see the main thing, if you go to the main documentation one. So what actually I'm doing, to send a new joke, I have to create a basically a thing here. So what we are missing out here, if you see, actually, if I go to the again to the get option. So actually, not joke one, it's joke. So if you send this one, so if you see, let me go to in a very drastic manner. Let's send this again, so you get another thing. Same with here. So again, joke. I already created. You can say this one, and let me send this one. Now it's added or not. So to check it's added or not, let's go to here. Sorry, let's go to the get one, right? And let's send this again. Send this. So if you want to check like about my ID, like if you go to the add one, and if you see the my ID is 123, so just copy this ID and go to the get one, and maybe ID will be 123, and let's send this. So there is different type of for every time the program it's created and again. That's the thing that we basically focus on. So if you go to like suppose if I just remove this one and just copy this thing like basically the joke one, copy, add here, and not this one, but about 1 2 3. That's the basic ID, and let's send this. So if you see every time that what I'm running because I'm using the ID, and if suppose I'm not using the ID, suppose I deleted this one and like, I just send this one. So if you see every time it's just showing the same thing, like with a different thing. If you go, there is a different type of going on, like basically the basic thing focus behind that, right? Cool. So now let's do if I added this one. So here if you're saying my thing is added. So suppose if I want to remove this one. So again, suppose now my next thing is we have to update the same thing. So what I will do here, add go to the request, right? Also the go to here. First of all, use the same thing, cool, and make it put. Now, the basic difference between if everybody see like what is the basic difference between put and you can say it's like you have to if I want to update only maybe a one parameter, then I will use put request. Otherwise, I will use patch. For right now, I'm using only put because I have to update one. If you go to the again, if I go to this one and if I copy this one, suppose, and I add the body over here, and again go to the you can say raw one, go to the JSON one and make it right here, right? Again, and if I update it, the ID one is 1 2 3, but now it's one. So let's send this one. So joke with ID one cannot be added. Why it cannot? Because the ID is already created, right? So I have to do 1 2 3, and let's send this one. Now there's no content man. It means it will add it or not. Let me see if I just send this one. So if you see joke with ID 1 2 3 already existed with a new account. Again, that's what the main thing that what I'm pointed out here. So for everything, if you see the different ID is created on the same, and that's what we did here, right? If suppose if I want to delete the thing, so what I have to do simply go to delete one, right? Pay the same thing. Sorry, not this one. If I go to documentation back, I just copy this one and delete one, pay this one, and just write joke, right? And just pass an ID of that particular thing. So ID can be ID 1 2 3, and let's send this one. So I think so ID one is missing. So let's go to the ID one, missing or invalid. Let me check what we did wrong. Go to this one. Cool. Okay, so we have to remove the basically the joke ID 3. So if you will do this one and send this one. So let me check what we are missing out. If we go to this one, so again, as the author is not applicable here, so actually what we did actually right here, we actually whole deleted that stuff. Why? Because using the update one, the ID that is already created one, I updated with the 1 2 3. So actually what I did, I actually deleted using this command. And yeah, so basic thing is that what I want to share you, if I want to save this one, like if I can save this thing maybe on the Knot API series and save this one, cool. And same thing happened with this. So this is the thing that ID is missing or invalid. That means it's already deleted, right? So let's go to again back to this one, and yep. So the basic recap that what we do actually here is like that. We have focuses on methods, addresses, parameters, authorization, and body data. So more on it. If I jump to the main thing, if we go to the like, just give me a moment. Right. If I share this tab again, and if you see, there are different type of auth. If you see API key, bearer token, basic auth, digest auth, OAuth 1.0, 2.0, and right now, actually, when we say in terms of security, AWS signature and OAuth 2.0 is one of the best security, or you can say API authentication that we are right now using here. So you can check it out. You can explore Postman if you want, as I shared with you. And let me share to this tab. Cool. And now let's, as we talk about method, addresses, parameters, authorization, body data, there are different type of things. You can explore it, you can play fun with it. So yeah. Now, if suppose you are really passionate about APIs and if you want to do some hands-on stuff, so as in Postman we have a different student program, that is student expert program, where we are more focusing on hands-on and API testing. We can send more requests, sophisticated requests in Postman. You can editing, you can documentation for a collection. You can write a basic test script, running a collection, passing different type of requests and scripting requests, execution order, and have an option to become a student leader in your community after you completed your student expert program. So you can do that, right? And it's an awesome program. For my experience, I am being a student expert, then I become a student leader of my own campus, and now I'm a postman. The journey is so amazing and awesome. There's a chance you can get opportunity on those things. And second thing, you can apply here if you want. I can take a minute for you, and you can apply for the same for the student expert one and have a look. And if you want, like you can go around that. I'm just waiting for you all guys. Just have a look over there. If you want, you can go to that stuff. And suppose if after that, after becoming like if you're getting into that one, if you want, I can share you this one thing. Just give me a share. Just give me a moment. Cool. So right, I'm sharing you a link. Also, if you want to join a Discord server, so I am sharing you a link with you all. So yeah, so I'm dropping in the private chat so that maybe team will be drop it over here. And yeah, and yeah, and sorry, Charlie, can you bring out the screen if possible? So I have to just give you some more thing on. Cool, thanks. Right now, if you want to win extra amazing swag from Postman, so what you can do, you can share this thing if you can, if you get some insight from this session, take a screenshot, do tag me using use hashtag postman student, tag CrossKnot, tag like Ali Mustafa, who's the community program manager, and share your learnings from this. If you feel like your content, or you can say your maybe the delivering thing to the community is pretty much awesome to the community, we will give you and we will reach out to you on the social media. But try to post on Twitter and LinkedIn, because we are more we are here on Twitter and LinkedIn only, so we can see that thing over there. Second thing, what you can do if you want to learn more or if you get swags more, you can create your own collection and you can do that stuff over that. And apart from that, there is a blog writing competition also. And if you feel like your blog really really helpful for the community, we will again reach out to you on the same LinkedIn or Twitter for. And if you will lucky and your content is great, we will give you swags. So that's an extra swag from Postman that you can think of, right? And for the resources, if you want, you can go to like this. You can take a screenshot of this learning center and API networks and forum. We like all on the three I am available. And as I think so, I dropped the Discord server of our student community. You can go there. If you have any doubt, you can reach out to me and Achal over there. So yep, and just I'm open for the Q&A. Yeah.
Thank you, Kartikey. Do we have any questions for Kartikey? I guess that is it. Um, Thank you so much, Kartikey, for taking out your precious time and taking such an excellent and informative session. It was really helpful and insightful, worth it, of course. So, guys, that's it for today's session. I hope you all enjoyed and got to learn from Kartikey. Thank you for being throughout the session, which is the part of 36-hour virtual hackathon that CrossKnot is conducting. We have prizes for the top four winners as well as rewards for all the participants. We have shared the link regarding the hackathon in the chat box, so do check it out and register soon. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining, and I hope you got from the side. And thanks for the whole team for giving me invitation and sharing some knowledge. Yeah.
Thank you, Karthik.